what was it? So the whole LaMelo Carmelo situation. Did you hear about this?
Yes,
Like, are you gonna call LaMelo Melo in the future?
sure. I don't think Carmelo doesn't have a patent on Melo.
He should. Um, I mean, I wasn't going to, but I think they asked Carmelo about it, and he basically was like, "I don't care." So I was like, "Okay, then I shouldn't care either." So I'm gonna call Melo Melo or Lamelo, whatever. Um,
Are you
now, if
surprised
like,
with how Melo's developed to this point?
am I
Like,
surprised?
yeah.
Um, not really. Um, I mean, I've always kind of like compared him to like a 6'7" Steph Curry, to where he's gonna shoot, but the fact that he could be a Steph Curry that can drive in the paint like that and dunk is
Mhm.
kind of scary. Um, yeah, and what? He's 19 still.
Something like that.
It's gonna be very interesting. Um, but yeah, I like Lamelo, his personality more than Lonzo, and I felt like Lamelo's personality was really gonna fit um, with the game, to where I feel like Lonzo kind of cared about the media and the attention. I don't think
Mhm.
Lamelo cares about that at all. Um, what do you think about it?
I think that first, I was always one that was like a big fan on Melo out of all the ball boys. I was like, Melo's gonna be the best one.
Yep.
And then, but watching his game and I guess like how he creates for himself and others, like off the dribble. I'm like, if he perfects that shot, because like right now, like he's hitting at like a decent percentage, but like he's becoming more confident, more consistent with it. Like if he
Mm-hmm.
starts knocking that down, because I'm like, man, this is gonna be a threat. Because you're a 6'7" point guard that can
Mm-hmm.
handle, pull up, drive pass. Like you have the advantage almost every single night of your position just because of your height.
Yeah.
Granted, I think he just put on a little more beef, but
Mm-hmm.
other than that, like I'm like, man, you keep working with what you're doing. I don't see how people stop you.
Yeah. And like 6'6" point guards in the past have always struggled with the shooting aspect of it. You know,
Mhm.
that's always been the weakest link. Lonzo Ball, exact, like literally, that's the whole problem with Lonzo. He just can't shoot, and you have to shoot. You have to shoot to be successful um, in the NBA. I mean, what is it? So yeah, the 6'6" point guard has always been a very like cool idea and everything, until you figure out they can't shoot consistently. You know, like Emmanuel Mudiay as well. That's the
Mhm.
only like, he literally has never had a shot, and that's why he's never been average or successful. So having Lamelo be maybe even an elite shooter,
Mhm.
he's an average shooter, and so he's going to be great already. So yeah, it could be very dangerous. What is it? What's
And
Lamelo?
I think it'll help his development to like Michael Jordan's in his ear
Yeah,
because he'll grow that ego and that edge
that's true. I mean, shooting 38% from three, which is
above average.
really nice. Yeah, that's above average. Yeah. So yeah, that can be. I mean, he's only averaging 28 minutes a game, because I know he didn't start for the first month or two.
Yeah, I know like the last month his numbers have been kind of crazy.
Yeah. Um, I've also been super impressed with Zion.
Yeah.
Super impressed. Um, he is like, those field goal numbers are like Shaq. Like,
Yeah.
and I remember like, yeah, he's 6'7", 6'6" maybe, but he's just such a weird player. He's such a unique player. Um, but I feel like Zion, his first year was just a mess
because
because
the minute restriction.
yeah, and then when he got into the bubble, he still had a minute restriction. So I was very frustrated. And so I guess he's finally over that injury from last year.
Mhm.
I didn't realize that injury was that big of a deal.
Well, of course, they're going to try to protect their pick. It's management. They invested all this money in a player. Of course, if he has an injury, he's supposed to be expected to be a star caliber player. You're going to be more cautious. But the same thing with Anthony Davis. Like, you're always going to do that with your star players. You traded for Anthony Davis. He has this Achilles injury. Of course, you're going to play it safe, especially when you're going for back-to-back championships. Like, I get it. You spend all this money, you invest in a player that you think is going to be a Hall of Fame talent. Of course, you're going to be more cautious with him than, a Stanley Johnson.
Hey, don't diss Stanley.
I'm just Stanley Johnson.
But yeah, Zion's averaging 25 and 7 with 3 assists. Like that is, and how old is he? Like 20? Yeah, he is 20. Jeez, it's because like the media was so on him last year. It's kind of weird. Like he's getting less attention,
Mhm.
but he's being better.
Yeah.
That like I think Zion likes that too. He's like, I don't want all this attention. I feel like I don't know. Sometimes you play better without it.